Hey guys, how are you? This is Ann Kimbrough tuning in once again to give you an update about the Content Creator Challenge that I started last September in 2020, and it goes all the way to the end of September in 2021. It's just a way to get some work done because after the end of like 2029, I look back at the year and I thought I don't have a lot to show for it. I did a lot of things. I met a lot of people. I pitched a lot of work, but nothing came together. So I really felt like, oh, I didn't do anything for me. Well, I was out there working on that bigger picture kind of work. So this is what this is about. And after the lockdown, I decided I needed to have something to show for not only, I wasn't basing it on the end of 2020 since that's one of those years that has little asterisks next to it, but I wanted to sort of put a line in the sand and say, hey, from this September to the end of next September, I want to be able to look back and say, I created something beyond what I'm doing for the big career. I created something for me that I could at least say, I created these books, I created these podcasts, and I put them out there. Where that gets me, I don't know, but I think I'll feel better about myself. So that's sort of, in a nutshell, what I'm doing here. And I have been checking in at the end of every month to attest to my success or thereabouts. So let's look at what I'm doing. So this is January 2021 check-in. I have 241 days left, which sounds like a lot. So January. I had bigger plans for January, but I only actually produced and released one podcast for my lyric, A Mother of a Fairy Tale. But that does bring my grand totals up to 2 completed book manuscripts. Those were from scratch to finish, beginning to end. Those were for my novellas, so don't be too impressed. And I've published 4 books. So you wonder, how did I do that? I had 2 manuscripts. So in this challenge, I allow you and me to use anything we have had been working on that we could pull out of a drawer, even if it's like almost done, but you never finished it. All of that counts. So for me, what counted is that I got some books back from a publisher. So I took those back and I republished them. I rebranded them, republished them. So that's how I have 4 published books. For some reason, I also said I would have podcast seasons. Like if I could sit down and write in a month a whole podcast season of scripts, that would count. Not sure about that one because I haven't actually done that or thought I should do it since I came up with the idea. So anyway, that might stay a big old 0 the whole time. And then I produced 2 podcasts total, but I produced one of them this month. So here's mostly what I've been working on. So these are my Fit Girls Cozy Mystery books. They're novella in length. Like I said, they're about 10 to 12 chapters. They are complete mysteries, but because they're so short, I've only released the first 3. These are well, you can see. The first 3 are the ones bundled there together. It's this way. It's that way. It's opposite for me. Yeah, I don't know if I'll get used to that. Anyway, I've bundled those together, and I am going to bundle them together with the 4th book, which is Train Trips Are Murder. That's the one I'm currently writing. That's the one I write, actually the last 2. Weddings Are Murder, Pet Shows Are Murder, and now Train Trips Are Murder are the ones I've been writing in and working on with my Writers Write writing sprint group, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But so the first 3 and the 4th one are just Kindle books. But because the 4 of them sort of have a 4-book arc, which I'm calling a quadrilogy, other people came up with that, but I'm using it. They're going to be packaged together as a paperback because it'll finally be long enough, be a nice, substantial paperback book. But by themselves, they're Kindles. So I've been working really hard on packaging this book and finishing book 4, which I still am working on. I haven't finished it. And that took up a lot of time in January, but I didn't get to the end. I feel like I'm stocking up. February should be really good as the tallies go. The other thing here is my podcasting of audio dramas. I have, this one is Lyric, A Mother of Fairy Tale. It's free to listen to. There it is on Buzzsprout if you follow that link. Obviously you can't click on this, but I'll put it in the description so you can. So right now I have 2 audio dramas. Lyric, A Mother of a Fairy Tale. 3 episodes are out, and the 4th one is, I'm editing. I'm so close to finishing it. But I dropped everything because I had this other idea called Stalking Hitchcock, which I really like. And I heard that Tribeca Film Festival had a podcasting contest. But of course, I heard about it the last week. So there were like 3 days to go. And I had played around with some scripts for this episode. This is my one where, so Lyric is really kind of an enhanced audiobook in many ways. There's sound effects, there's voices, but it's me reading you this story I wrote. Stalking Hitchcock was conceived to be an audio play where you have real voice actors, old time radio kind of stuff. So you hear the sounds, and the narration is there, but it's very small. So the problem with that is I had a couple false starts in trying to get it out there. Let's see, I have a graphic for it. So this is coming soon. So I dropped everything to try to get it ready to submit to the Tribeca Festival, because since they just started this podcasting, you had to submit a completed, produced episode, which is very unique, but I loved it. I thought that'd be really great, and I wanted to support the contest, and I really thought there's no way I can get it done in 2 days. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, sound editing is a lot. The recording, it's a lot. And of course, the hard part is that I tried with a different idea to try to do remote acting, which is hard also. At best it's hard. It's near to impossible, and you'd really have to have voice actors that know acting, which I didn't try it with actual voice actors that knew how to act. I just tried it with some friends, and it was just impossible to make anything even sound like people were talking to each other. So anyway, I then found this artificial voice system called synthesis. It's really hard to say. Synthesis. Anyway, it has all these voices. They're real voices, but you type in what they say and then they say it, which of course that's the trick, right? Because it's really hard to even make it sound really good. But I decided I wanted to try it. To me, that was yet another cool experiment to be able to jump in, try to make actual voice acting sound good with artificial voices. They're real people behind the voices, but they weren't working with me in real time. So of course, there's only so much a program can do. So that's a trick to write for a voice like that, because you're not going to get a lot of inflection. So it's a challenge, but I wanted to take that challenge, and I did. And in 2 days, I actually did complete the first episode of Stalking Hitchcock. And but I missed the deadline by like 21 minutes. I'm a little bummed about that, but I have to say that I really do want to kind of re-listen to what I did and try to edit a little bit better for some of the voices, where you can hear it's not really 100% right. So probably not being able to submit something I created in 2 days to a very respected contest is a good thing. What it really did was it launched me to do this, because to me, being able to do this, it takes me a long time to even put Lyric together. So to being able to put this together in 2 days was crazy, and I'm really happy I did it. Oh, hey Sergio, thanks for joining me. I'm just this is one of my content creator challenges, and I decided to use this format. I've usually been pre-recording these and just releasing them. So I wanted to put this out and see if I can challenge anybody else to join me, because every month I am trying to actually complete content that I can release. And so it's either a book or it's a podcast. Because those are the things that we can release as writers, where we don't need a whole production crew. I'm also a screenwriter, but I can't do that alone. At least I can't do it alone to the level I'd want to. You can do short films. So that could be something too that you want to release, a short film on YouTube. So anyway, this is what I've learned so far. By having this challenge, that my main goal is that I really need to complete and release projects every month. And what I've learned is that there's a lot of peaks and valleys. It is like this weird roller coaster sort of graph, like this one like this one. And Sergio, as you can see, you come to Writer's Right, that I know that it's not at a great time for you to work on your writing, but they are recorded sessions every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and from 8 a.m. Pacific time for an hour. We do two 25-minute writing sprints. And that's where I work on my Fit Girl series. But the thing what I realized is something like Writer's Right really does help you push it through. Like, I like to say I write every day, which I do, and I write throughout the day. It's not like I'm not punching any clock. This is for me, right? So obviously from time to time I do have projects, so they come first. When you're getting paid for things, they obviously come first. But in the meantime, it's nice to have this accountability, the Writer's Right, because I have to be there. Sergio expects me to be there, as do several others. And you only need one person that expects you to be somewhere at a certain time. So that's why I created Writer's Right, is so I would sit down and work on one thing. Because I have like 5 projects and I just had a new idea for a screenplay I really want to write. So that's my issue, is that, there's a lot of little shiny things and I want to grab them all. So I have to focus. But so that's the thing about Writer's Right. That's why it's there, and it's very useful to help me. And I've learned that. The other thing is that there are these peaks and valleys. So I've had some months, I've had only one month where I had nothing that I could check off that I'd completed. But I've had months where if that happened, like actually January was a good building month, where what I did was I pushed a lot of things forward, and they are just right there to completion. I've got an episode of Lyric that's almost ready to go, and I have a book that Fit Girls book 4 is almost ready to go. I also have a paperback of the first 4 Fit Girls books. It's almost ready to go. So, that's all going to hit in February because I worked so hard on it in January. So I guess my point is, don't be hard on yourself if, in these peaks and valleys, because you're going to have some valleys where all this stuff you're doing is going to build up till you get to that peak and you can release it all at once. So I guess I constantly still want to see progress every month, and you just have to look at what kind of progress you're getting. I know when I began screenwriting many moons ago, that was something that was also my goal, is that I always had some kind of progress. And for me back then, it was like, did I go to any film festivals? Did I enter contests? Did I go out and network? Plus, did I complete scripts? So, all of that to me was progress. Like, what was I doing to advance my career in the beginning? And then it turned into, what am I doing to make money in my career? And so those are the kind of things that I look for. Progress. So I just wanted to say thank you. These are just little short check-ins that I do to let you know what's going on with this Content Creator Challenge. Mostly it's just to keep me, on task with it and not let it go. It was just one of those things I said, I'm going to do this challenge and I'm going to tell everybody I'm doing it, so I keep doing it. So this is my accountability. And if you're checking in, I appreciate it. I have a lot of great followers to this YouTube page where I put a variety, I should say, of content out there. Mostly I want to inspire writers as I inspire myself, as you inspire me to keep up the good fight. Creating things, writing anything, or creating anything has so many pitfalls that it's great to have a community of like-minded friends to share and to motivate as we're motivating each other. That's vital to succeeding. So thanks for tuning in to hear about my Content Creator Challenge. I only have one that I can check off for the month, but I've queued up about at least 3-4 things. So that feels good. I'm in a valley, but all the stuff I'm building up is pushing up towards a peak for February. So I also do a Facebook live kind of check-in in the middle of the month. I do have a content creator page on Facebook where I post that kind of stuff to let you know how I'm doing and make predictions. So my predictions for January were a little off, but I also I did take that detour and created a whole new podcast, which I probably shouldn't have. No, I can't say I shouldn't have done it. It was a good thing, and it created something. I haven't released it into the world yet, my Stalking Hitchcock. I want to actually have all the episodes done before I let them out, because I want you to listen to them all in one fell swoop, just like you could binge watch on Netflix. More about that. Anyway, be nice to yourself.